right, welcome back to the M3 Podcast.
All right.
Jasmine on. This is a little bit different from what we normally do.
Yeah.
So this will be the first of its kind. And you have a video production company.
Yeah, we're a full-service video production company located in Brookside, Kansas City. So we've been in operation for about 7 years now.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So Alex was telling me that you started it with your sister, right?
I did, yeah. So Stellar Image Studios is the name, and we often go by SIS because it's the acronym.
Very cool.
And yeah, she was the creative side of the business, and I was the sales and operations. And I feel like that was kind of our secret sauce when we started it 7 years ago, because she was able to focus on the creative and I was able to grow the business through sales.
Yeah. So that the funny thing is with MMG, my brother's also running around here somewhere too.
Did you start it with your business or your brother?
So I was doing it for roughly 2 months before he joined the firm.
So you know what it's like running a business with your sibling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great time.
It is.
But no, it was unique because we had to lay that groundwork to say, hey, this is how it's going to run and operate. This is what it looks like moving forward. But I'm that big visionary person, the creative, that just idea guy. And
that was my sister.
My brother makes sure it all stays on the rails.
Yeah, that's so cool that it's same dynamic between Amber and I. But she recently just had a baby, so she stepped down as the owner.
Okay.
But still consults with us and works part-time.
Very cool. So what got you into video work, or that going down that line of work?
Yeah, so actually my sister Amber, she worked right out of college for an in-house, or she worked at a security company, and she was doing all their in-house marketing. She studied video in college, and the company found out she could do video. They're like, oh, you can do video, so you're going to do all our video work. So she was producing, directing, cam mopping, editing, doing it all. And she was like, I wish I had a team to help me. And I had an international business major, worked in the corporate world, wasn't happy with what I was doing, have an entrepreneurial spirit at heart. So we joined forces, and here we are.
Yeah, my brother and I don't have any background in college with this, so I have a geology degree, a minor in physics, so I don't use that at all.
But the thing is, I have an international business degree, but like I didn't learn anything to run a business. You know what I mean?
And I think every business is so different.
Yeah.
That we work with businesses on a lot of different scopes of work, and talking with them on how they run and operate. There's people that come into our office and they tell me how they run and operate. I'm like, how did you grow a 9-figure business doing it this way? Yeah. But it's just like,
it's fascinating.
It is. And that's what I think one of my favorite things about all of it is I've never been good about going to these kind of things. Alex has definitely pushed me into being more of a part of these type of deals, but
that's awesome.
Just getting to meet business owners, and I love when there's also people in our industry that are pushing it forward. Yeah. That content creation is just, there's a lot of eyes on it right now.
There is.
There's businesses need that. Personal brands need it. Yeah. And I think a lot of people are just missing that mark. Yeah. And also, Alex spoke very highly of you. Aww. So if Alex speaks highly of someone, I know that they're solid.
Well, he speaks highly of this company too, so I know you guys are in the Crossroads, right?
Yep, we got two locations.
2 locations? Okay. So, where's your other one?
So one's across from Rochester. That's our HQ, and then over by like King G. Okay. Around the corner, we have our sales office now.
That's awesome.
So up until the beginning of this year, we did no outside sales, so we generated everything off social ads. It's the same thing that we do for clients. Yeah. So I had a little bit of frustration with the marketing world when I saw on the other side of the table that they couldn't acquire their work the way that they were selling me that they were going to acquire work from me. So I decided before we were going to do any outside sales, we were going to prove it on ourselves. So
that's awesome. And how long have you been in business then?
June this year will be 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
Well, congrats.
Thank you.
You're almost past that like 5-year mark.
When I first started, I had so many people tell me, I had a few individuals are like 98% of companies don't make it 2 years.
Yeah, it's true. I know. So, I've heard that same thing.
I have a Dawn bottle that I open on June 30th of every year that I sign.
I love
and it has I ride on it that 98% of companies don't make it 2 years.
I wish I had something cool like that.
Yeah.
I don't. I just keep grinding.
It started off as like being super silly, but then as time progresses, it becomes cooler.
Yeah, it is cool. It is.
No, I very much enjoy speaking with
Kansas
City business owners. And like I said, there's so much room in our industry to move forward.
Yeah.
So
how is this your first year doing the showcase?
Yes.
It is. Okay,
yes.
Cool. Well, good luck.
Thank you. I was kind of behind the scenes, under the radar type deal that we were just running and operating. And first time I sat down with Alex, he's like, I've talked to a lot of marketing companies about you guys. And he goes, they all think you're a pyramid scheme.
Seriously?
But I was just getting clients that not everyone else was attracted to. I'm like, the blue collar world, we own that space. I'm like, marketing companies don't go talk to those guys.
Right.
I was like, so we owned all this clientele and we were scaling and growing and people saw our push towards the market.
Cool, though.
But it's like, the people we work with, I enjoy.
Yeah.
And that's what makes business fun.
I know you don't have a favorite client, but what are some of the people you've worked with?
I come from the automotive space, so it's we have a lot of automotive clients. I'm going to say that, I'm not going to say it's my favorite clientele, but
they're all your favorite
like
clients.
The blue collar kind of stuff
they're great.
We
did some work when we first started the business for a roofing company, and it was like, you wouldn't think that, I guess me, maybe as a female, I was like, wouldn't think it would be cool content, but it was really fun to work with those guys, a little rough around the edges. It was fun.
That's what you can tell right here. Most time I'm at job sites.
I've seen this video somewhere. Was that you?
Yeah. So I run a lot of paid ads. Okay. But it's just like that kind of stuff. Marketing companies aren't going to try to capture that.
Yeah.
So when Alex started, I showed him this client list. He's like, you guys have like way more clients than I thought. And I'm like, he goes, I don't know who any of these guys are. I'm like, their companies are scaling, but it's not glorious to that guy's not going to be here with a booth.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just not like they get.
But they still need video content. So
the unique thing about their industry too is they need employees more so than work. So business is built on acquisition of work and acquisition of employment. So most of the time, 50% plus of our work, I don't want to say plus, but roughly 50% is actually with clients just on acquisition of employment.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay, so I've seen that paid ad of you, so it must be working. Like, I've seen that ad.
So we get like 600 leads a month for companies to call.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
From that paid ad?
Yeah, so we have probably 5 to 10.
That's good ROI.
Yeah, so we have 5 to 10 running all the time. Very high dollar amount on them. Very targeted.
Yeah.
It's like you're probably in one of the audiences. It's business owners of KC. Like we do all of our own first party data. So we pull those. We have master lists. So we plug in, we target. But you
guys are smart.
I'm not smart. I got a lot
Your
of smart.
team is smart.
I got a lot of smart people around me.
That's how I feel.
If I go down with that one thing, I'll take that as a business owner. But no, I appreciate you sitting down.
Yeah, thank you. This was fun.
Yeah, we'll definitely need to collab on some stuff.
We will.
And you can check out what you guys are doing.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, welcome back to the M3 Podcast. We got Alex on, Golf Tracks.
How we doing?
Good. How you doing?
Doing good, man.
This is my first time doing just like off the cuff podcast and a deal like this.
I think it's safe to say it's also mine.
Yeah.
So.
I thought you did these all the time.
Not yet.
Not yet. But so what do you guys got going on? I know your booth is way cooler than ours. You got
I don't know. We don't have a podcast.
All kinds of stuff.
Well, we're setting up, spreading the good word about Golf Track, man.
Yeah.
First time here, so it's a pretty cool thing.
When did you start Golf Tracks?
We opened our first Golf Track location in August of 2023, so we're about 18 months strong.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we opened our second one in January, so about 2 months ago. We launched our franchising operation last year, and we're in 6 geographies now.
Okay.
And that's kind of where our business is headed on the franchising side.
So, was there a business background before this?
Corporate world.
Corporate world?
IT sales, IT staffing and services sales. My wife owns a business, so kind of had the entrepreneurial, was able to scratch that itch through her, and then kind of left the corporate world about a year and a half ago, right when we opened a golf track.
So what was the idea about going the route with golf and where the business idea sparked
passion for the game, man. Passion for the game. Well, our concept is rooted in the idea that in the last decade there's been kind of an oversaturation of off-course facilities that are geared more towards geared more towards non-golfers.
Yeah.
They're built to sell food and booze, and they're not really places you would necessarily go to for skill development, to go and train. At the same time, there's just been a huge wave of technology development that is kind of changing the way that people practice, understand their own game. And so, we built Golf Track to kind of cater to golfers that wanted a place that they could go to. We're a membership-based facility, and we operate kind of like a gym where you're going to go there multiple times a week, get your game dialed in, get feedback, use the best of the best technology in the best bay quality, and it's just a monthly fee.
Yeah.
And all of our facilities are staffed with PGA credentialed, PGA certified instructors.
Right, yeah.
So you can go there to just do it yourself, get your work done, or if you want to engage with club fitting, instruction, clinics, leagues, we can also pivot and offer those kind of programs.
So I think you make a good point. There has been so much recreational style golf things opening, and it's being targeted towards just a very heavy amount of drinking, food, and then having something that's so different that legitimate golfer didn't really have a lot outside of the golf course,
right?
To be able to go to on a weekly basis.
And you're seeing a big trend in clubs building indoor spaces, people building simulators in their own home, and I think that's more of a testament to the lack of facilities out there like ours,
yeah.
Right? There is demand for this. This is the new way that people are training, and so we're trying to, to grow geographically via franchising now.
So when you are expanding into different markets and taking on franchisees, what's that movement kind of look like scaling that part?
Our franchising growth has gone way faster than anticipated. I think we're going to hit our 2025 goal by May at this point. And so, what's apparent to me as I'm driving kind of the expansion here is that a lot of pros want to move into the indoor realm. They want to kind of jump on this train and then get out of the green grass environment, so to speak. But there's just a lot of hurdles to do that. And so it's kind of a hand-in-glove approach here that a lot of the pros that were our early franchisees, they want to get out of that world. They want help. They need a brand. They just want something they can plug into. And we've built partnerships with the best technology providers that allow them to just plug and play, right? They can come in, they have a lesson book, and not only are they pulling that book into this new facility that now they have the ability to control, have agency over their time, their schedule, but now we're helping them build a legitimate recurring revenue business and the membership behind that. So
if somebody signs up for a membership with you, what's all included in that?
Unlimited access to the facility. I mean, it's pretty simple. Monthly fee. You get set up with on our scheduling system, so you book a bay in advance.
Okay.
Show up to the facility. We have a Bluetooth access control. You badge in, and the bay is yours to use. So you can book up to 2 hours in advance. Okay. Once you use that time, you can book more time. So it keeps it equitable across the membership. We have pretty low capacity thresholds in a given facility, so make sure that people have the ability to access it as they want. Most of our members come multiple times a week, and I think to date, Matt, we pulled stats. I think there's been over like 1.1 million shots hit in our first facility over the last just in 18 months. So
it's a few shots,
and it's almost all on like a practice function. Yeah. People aren't coming in to play games or play courses. You can obviously do that, but people, it's a testament to like what we wanted as golfers ourselves is kind of what we ended up building and how our members are using it too.
I think it's a sport that requires almost more practice than anything else. I go down to Florida for a couple weeks and I'll play 18 in the morning, 9 every evening.
Yeah.
I think I'm ready for the tour when I come back. I sit stagnant for 2 or 3 months. I go out. I'm like, what happened to that guy that was golfing down in Florida? And I'm like, he's gone.
Yeah.
But
it's a fickle game, man.
It is.
Fickle game. We have, I brought my business partner, Matt, over because we have developed an app, some technology that actually now allows you to take the data from these indoor sessions at facilities like Golf Track out onto courses. So I'd love for him to be able to talk about Noonan if you have a few minutes.
let's we'll tag in it. Tag out. All right, now we got Matt. We're going into technology.
There we go.
Where are we starting with tech?
Yeah, so Alex was just talking about, we built an app basically to go along with this. So when we first got started with Golf Track, we were talking about it. One of the things that we were concerned about was the seasonality aspect of it. When it gets nice outside, people want to go out and play outside and not play indoors. So we're trying to figure out a way to actually incentivize them to come in during this off season for indoor golf. What that turned into is this idea that, hey, when people are actually using the simulators, they don't actually know how far they hit the ball, right? I come in, I hit one good shot that went 380 when it was downwind, downhill, and now all of a sudden, every single time I step over the tee, I'm going to think I'm going to hit it 300 every single time, right?
Yeah.
That's not actually how you do it. And when you make those decisions like that on the golf course, that's why you'd shoot bad scores. It's more mental than it actually is your physical game. So we thought there was a huge opportunity to actually leverage the data that we're kicking off in our simulator base to help make better shot recommendations on the golf course, and nothing like that existed. So we built out a platform. It's called Noonan Caddy. It basically transforms your phone into a digital caddy. So when you're on the golf course, they'll tell you what club to hit and where to aim to give yourself the best odds for success. So you're playing the highest percentage shot every time, and all of that is driven off of the data that you generate in our facilities.
Wow, that's impressive. So who was the one that came up with that tech idea and executed it all?
So I came up with the idea, come from a tech background. Okay. I don't code or anything like that. I was in technology sales. I know enough to be dangerous. I know what it can do. Yeah. I got to figure out how to tell somebody to go do it and build it. But yeah, so that was kind of one of the ideas that we kind of came up with during that process. And we've been getting a ton of good feedback. We've talked to a lot of professionals in the game. We did Digital Sandbox here in Kansas City. We did Pure Pitch Rally. Got entered into the Pipeline Fellowship. So it's been a really good catalyst to get us involved in this entrepreneurship ecosystem.
Very cool. I feel like you guys are very well-rounded in what you guys are covering as a company, and also having the forward thinking that it is a seasonal type business that I'm assuming November, December, January, February, probably crazy busy compared to the rest of the year. Also, it's Missouri, Kansas weather. We don't know what we're getting here.
Yeah.
But also figuring out how to capitalize on those more so off months when it's warm out, where people are out on a golf course every day.
I think there's a lot of like pinch up entrepreneurialism like within the team.
Yeah.
So every time we see a problem within our business, we're like, that could be a business, that could be a business. And frankly, it's, kind of the rising tide thing. There's been this massive boom in just golf participation. So it's really kind of created a really big opportunity for us to go solve all these challenges. And frankly, like I think the use of technology has been kind of lacking in the golf space. So being able to raise that bar, give people who are entering in this game a new way to experience it, kind of lessen that learning curve a little bit. It's where we kind of feel like we sit.
You also talk about being surrounded with these entrepreneurial spirit type people, solving problems. The best entrepreneurs I'm around, I feel like I've been given a unique ticket in business because I work at the CEO level. We work with 100 plus companies around. Yeah. So I get to just hear this problem solving mentality all day, every day.
Yeah.
How did you guys all pair up?
Golf. So, our third co-founder, we worked together at Cerner. We both actually are originally from Iowa. So we both got recruited to come down and work for Cerner right out of college. Both went to University of Iowa. Didn't actually know each other, but we became good friends when we got to Cerner. Then he left and started working with Alex, and we all just started playing golf together. So that's, pretty much how this all came together.
Pretty legit. It all came together with golf on top of it.
Correct.
But no, you guys are doing something really cool, and it's even more fun when you're getting to play golf every day.
Exactly. Hey, I get to talk golf every day, and that's awesome.
No bad day at work.
Exactly.
But no, I appreciate you guys coming on.
Likewise.
Keep killing it, and I'll be a client of yours.
Beautiful. Appreciate it.
That's M3 Podcast. Peace. Welcome back to the M3 Podcast. Once again, we're back. We're at the KC Chamber event. You pitch your name.
I got you. My name's Dulcinea Herrera. I know it's a hard name, but
I know.
That's what they gave me.
Very cool name.
Thank you.
That's very cool. And you own Cafe Corazon.
Yes, correct.
So what got you into the entrepreneurial world and business and taking this path?
Well, we started about 6 years ago. We noticed that most coffee comes from Latin America, but nobody ever has the flavors of Latin America in their coffee. So we said, okay, let's start this. Maybe Kansas City's ready for something different. And it ended up working out. Now we have about 3 locations. We just purchased a warehouse for our roasting facility. So it's been good, and it's been with a family.
Yeah.
We didn't have much, and we made it work. So
yeah, that's, I think, one of the cool things about so much of business is starting in the beginning and not fully understanding what it's supposed to look like.
yeah.
And I read a lot of books when I got into business, and I'm like, I don't think my business looks right. I'm like, it's telling me I'm supposed to be doing this. I'm supposed to be doing this. And as it progressed, I learned that every business is different.
Yes.
When you started, what would you say in your first, 12 months, what was your biggest hurdle, kind of hardsuit to take on?
Well, we opened when COVID just had happened. So that was like a horrible time to open, right? But coffee, people are addicted to it. They're always going to want it. So that was something that kept us through, I think, is like when you choose a product or something that people are going to need.
Did you have to change your business model during COVID?
A little bit, yeah. We wouldn't let people come in, right? We'd bring it to their car, things like that. But people love their coffee, so they came.
Yeah.
And we're so grateful for the Kansas City community for just...
Because I know a lot of times during COVID, so I opened MMG 2 days before the whole country closed down. And I was like, I don't know if I made a good idea here. And I think it made us better as a company because I had to think so outside the box in the early days to build something that, taking on that hurdle when you first start, I feel like, at least in my experience, grew me to be a better entrepreneur.
Yeah,
that
definitely.
Do you feel the same way that taking something like that on now makes it to where when you have hurdles, you're like, oh, it's not that big of a deal?
Oh, definitely. And me and my family, we're going to get it done, So we're going to make sure to do it the best. And I love that, We strive for perfection, right?
Yeah. So you speak on family a lot.
Yeah.
And so are you in business with other parts of your family?
Yeah, so it's me and my parents. We started at 3 together. My dad is a builder, so everything you see if you go to our shops, he built the tables, everything. He's a handyman.
Very, very cool.
And then me and my mom were more marketing, events, management, numbers, that part of it. So we worked as a team. I was 18 when we started. But it's gone very well. And I'm so proud to have done that with them. Who better than your family?
I think I very much enjoy that I get to work with my brother every day.
Oh, cool.
And
that's awesome. Yeah.
It's fun getting to work with family. It does, I think it can make a hard dynamic at some points. So I worked with my dad in the automotive space before marketing, and we butted heads a lot. And we are not two people that should probably work together, but my brother and I work really well together. But I think it makes it even more rewarding.
Yeah, for sure.
So do your parents still have a lot of involvement in the day-to-day right now, or do you pretty much just run all of it?
It just depends on what the day is. Since we just purchased a warehouse, my dad's building out the warehouse. So he's taking that, and me and my mom are taking the 3rd location we're about to open. So we split everything.
Yeah.
But
so how many locations you say you're up to right now?
3.
3?
Yeah.
Is there a target amount of locations that you're looking to have, or is it?
I don't know. I think what we're eventually looking to do is purchasing buildings as well in the long term. But yeah, I think so.
That's
maybe 5.
It's kind of cool when you start seeing businesses just take off, and then it's 1 location, 2 locations, 3 locations. It just keeps compounding, and I think great product and great service stands above all.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when you have a great product, and
thank you.
One of the,
appreciate it.
I've been to one of your locations a lot. It's right up the street from our headquarters, and it's just the staff has always been amazing when you go in there, and it speaks volumes of what you're doing.
Thank you. And by the way, I love the cars that you guys have with your logos on them.
Thank you.
When I saw that, I was like, They're cool. That's fun.
Anytime I can put my logo on something, I'm all about it. So it's shirts, vehicles, you name it. If I can put a logo on it, it's going on there.
That's awesome.
So, no, always enjoy talking with Kansas City business owners.
Yeah,
You're killing it. Keep making it happen. And we're always in your corner. If you ever need anything, we're here.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Thank you for joining.
So nice to talk to you.
It's M3 Podcast. Peace. Welcome back to M3 Podcast. We got Brooke on.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Thanks
for having me.
Nice to meet you, too. We met roughly about 45 seconds ago.
45 seconds ago. Yep, lot to learn, yeah.
Nonprofit world.
Yes.
What got you into it?
What got me into the nonprofit world is I was a teacher for 8 years in Basehor Linwood. I taught 8th grade reading for 5 years, high school for 3, and I absolutely loved it. I'm like the opposite teaching story you hear, where I was not burned out. Like I loved my kids, I loved my job. But I have a master's in administration and a master's in curriculum, but just didn't know what my next step was. So somebody said, you should look at the nonprofit world, and I personally never thought about it, but I was like, this is my personal wheelhouse. It's my mission. It's something that I believe in. So I found the Learning Club, which I had never heard of. And I thought that they were either new or, super small. And so I go to the interview, and I'm talking with the director of operations, who's now our executive director. And I was like, so how long have you all been around? And she's like, 20 years. I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean this place exists? And so what Learning Club does is we're an education nonprofit in KCK. And we provide after school and tutoring to students who live in and around public housing in KCK. We have an in-school reading feeder, but I came to the organization as we have a stipend internship for high schoolers.
Very cool.
For about 80 to 100 high schoolers in the Kansas City, Kansas public schools. And they come to us once a week. They get professional development, and then they tutor a student after school. And the goal is that we instill this love of teaching and education to hopefully grow our own teachers in KCK. So that's how I got into it. I was the internship director, and now I do a lot of other stuff, but it's been a really cool experience delving from the teaching world into the nonprofit space.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So we work with a lot of nonprofit, and when I first met Alex, we were talking about what I did nonprofit wise, and I was like, I've never done it from a business standpoint, but once I started meeting some of these bigger nonprofits and understanding how they just ran and operated as a business that we would normally work with, he's like, we have something that a lot of them really need. They need more eyeballs on what they're doing. They need people to know about how they're helping. And it's just like any business, out of sight's out of mind. So if people don't know about you, it's really hard for them to help you.
Absolutely.
And
I always say that. I'm like, you either know us or you never heard of us. Like, you know us really well, you've been with us forever, or you've never heard of us. So I agree.
And I think the thing that's happening right now that's really cool, and I'm seeing it across, we're getting into helping high schools with marketing, like all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And from the school system to the nonprofit space, all of it is looking at how to develop this high school level more into an internship.
Well, it's about representation. So truly, like whether you're a kindergartner where they have the career day, or you're a high school senior and someone's saying, what's your next step? If you don't have that representation and exposure and somebody to say, you could do this, you're never going to think about it. Like I never went to I went to K-State, go Cats, but I never thought after my secondary education degree that I would be in human resources and in development and fundraising. Like that wasn't my path, but until I started meeting people that I could see that trajectory and I could see that passion. And we have kids who our model is we try and reach the communities and that experience the most barriers to access. So our after school programs, we are in or around public housing because our goal is to eliminate the barriers of cost, transportation, all of that. So a student gets paired with a volunteer after school, but the volunteer is in their community center in that public housing community.
Gotcha.
So then their tutor, their mentor who has a whole life of experience, they get to just have that relationship and build it as they grow. So it's that representation. Knowing marketing exists, knowing that somebody says you can do this path is exactly what we try and do for our kids.
And it's funny because I feel like I've had this conversation with so many different groups. But I think a lot of times I came from a well-off family, grew up on a bunch of land up north. I was a country kid growing up, but it was just that kind of background. My dad always told me, he's like, you can do anything that you want. Gave me all these different opportunities. He knew the right people to put me in front of, all this, that there's a lot of these kids that don't have those opportunities.
Right.
And to open up those doors to give them something to say, hey, this is a possibility.
100%.
Like, and also I think we live in a world now that it's like college or you're not going to be successful. And we own a lot of the blue collar world. And when you're looking in that space, it's like, maybe not every kid wants to go to college. Show them what the route looks like to maybe go do something else that they're passionate about, that they say, hey, this is an option. But I think it's more so just helping paint that vision that there is a pathway for them.
Absolutely. And having that adult to say, I have a question. Like,
Yeah.
I need help. Like, I when I was internship director, I had a student who we went on a college tour, and she was a high school senior. She was 4.0 GPA, rock star student, wanted to go to college. And we were touring a local university, and she said, okay, but do I sleep in this classroom? And we had just toured the dorms, and so I said, well, you sleep, if you want to live on campus, you can sleep in these dorms, or you drive to school. Like, she thought she was going to sleep in the classrooms because nobody had exposed her, told her, or just was there to give that information. So something as some of the populations of students that we work with, it is simply just empowering them with that knowledge to tell them. And so that's where, as an organization, we're working on of even sharing what we do, because there's many people who want to give back on a regular basis. You know, we're a great opportunity for businesses to get involved and individuals, but we're like 1 hour a week where our generation, like the day to day, I don't know, they're all, I'm fascinated with generations, but I do think that there's this need in the community to say, during my work day, I need something that fulfills me, because we're all running, we're all grinding, we're all 9 to 5. And so I do think that it's an opportunity for people to kind of take a breath and say, there's a real kid who I show up to, and they come every week.
Yeah.
And so it's a really cool opportunity for that too.
I think it's also, it finds purpose in what you do. And
Absolutely.
there was a long time I was in the automotive space before. I was passionate about it, but I feel like I didn't get to make a big enough difference around per se.
Yeah.
And I feel now what we get to do for business owners, we truly get to make a difference for them. And as we scale, we take on more of these nonprofit partnerships that make Kansas City a different space as we progress. And I think it's cool to see and to get to watch it right in front of us every day. And
you're editing and you're like, this feels good. Like that's all what we're trying to do is we're trying to find our place in marketing and telling stories. Like that's the oldest that's the oldest job is storytelling. Like, right? It's telling the story. So you guys are doing a lot when you work with nonprofits and are open to working with that this group of us who we really are. We're doing good work. But I had somebody tell me there's 11,000 nonprofits in Kansas City alone.
Yeah.
And you know, we're all trying to say that we have a good cause, but I do think that you have the unique opportunity to really tell that story in a way that we don't even see ourselves telling that story.
Yeah.
So
and that's why I think also having an outside lens on what you're doing is always like, I have outside consultants that look at my company all the time. That I'm like, where's it broken? Like, I'm in it all day, every day. That doesn't. It's made it so I become numb to certain things that are broken right in front of me. I can't see them. And it's when you get inside of something, that story that you're telling, you're like, oh, that's a normal. I hear this story every time of somebody thinks they sleep in a classroom. Somebody else, the first time they hear that, they're like, that's wild. Like, I remember the first time I went into PAL and they're talking about all these kids that are coming in to eat every day. And I'm like, oh, this is a problem? 10 minutes from our office?
100%.
And I'm like, I don't think about having my next meal. Like, I don't experience those types of problems. And to have that so close to home and so many people that can help make a difference, but they just don't know, I feel like it's a hard position, and it's more people just need to know.
And you recognize, you talked earlier, like I came from privilege, and so did I. And it's like what we do with that, I think, is also the biggest piece where you're saying, like, to share that message and to share what you do. Like, it's great work that you guys are working, and you're on that. You're with PAL, and they're also KCK, so I love that. So it's great work that you're doing.
I think there's a lot of people too, and I see it happen in a certain vertical, but it's when people say, I understand. Like, I meet these kids at PAL, and I'm not going to say I understand, because I don't.
But you see, you recognize, you can look and not do anything. Like, you're going to act in the way that you can.
Yeah, and I've sat and I've talked with a 14-year-old boy there at their Christmas event where we're giving things out, and I'm talking to him. He's telling me about stuff that's taking place in his life, and I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I understand it. And he looked at me, he's like, thank you. And he's like, I have so many people that tell me that they understand. He goes, they haven't been through it. So it's just, I think that part alone, when somebody knows that you're not, I don't know, tell them like, oh, I understand. Like, I don't think you do.
Part of being human is just literally saying, like, I see you.
Yeah.
I hear you. It doesn't always have to mean that I come from the same background. And
Yeah.
I think that's going to connect us in this time where people are so disconnected, and we experience such the disconnect with people. And the only way is just to say, we don't have to come from the same background, but I just see and I hear you. So
we can have the same North Star.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, I very much enjoyed
Great
chatting
talking
with you.
to you. Yeah, great
You
work.
killed it.
Yeah.
First time, made it happen. That's M3 Podcast. Peace. Welcome back to the M3 Podcast. We're still here at the KC Chamber event. I'm going to butcher it if I try to go at exactly what the event is, but John with Woodside, you guys got the nicest gym around.
Thank you. Appreciate it. We think so too.
You do. I've been talking to my wife. I'm from the Northland, and I'm like, I wanted to go become a member just because I see people post on Instagram on stories and stuff about it, and I'm like, it's just
Yeah.
where did it all start?
Well, the club is actually 52 years old,
Okay.
so it's been around for a very, very long time. We have some members that have been there for the whole 52 years. But in the last couple of years, we've gone through like a really just a massive renovation. So everything from our strength floors to cardio decks to the pools, like they've all really been taken to the next level. So yeah, I mean, I think I would call it like kind of like a third space model. Like people, they come work out, but then they also hang out there all day. Like a lot of people will spend the day like working in our Earth Bar, just get on Zoom, hop on there for the whole day. So it's pretty cool. It's an awesome place.
It's pretty wild because a lot of the people that have told me to go become a part, they're like, it's a great networking spot too.
Yes.
They're like, you're going to meet great people there. And I think putting the paywall to get in, genius. I think it changes the clientele.
Yeah.
It makes it, from my viewpoint in it, I feel like, and once again, not being a member, I need you to put one up north. But it's more of like a country club style almost from looking at.
Yeah. It's, I would say the social club aspect is what a lot of people really love about it. Like we have a great marketing team. And within that team, we have a community manager, and she's in charge of all our events. She's the one that organized this for us.
Yep.
And, you know, I've worked in clubs. I'm from New York originally. I worked for a company called Equinox for about 12 years. And we tried hosting member events and things like that. And it's just a bunch of employees sitting around drinking. Yeah. No one ever showed up. But at Woodside, people really do come and attend those events. So I think it's like, you know, I heard the word cult kicked around a little bit when it comes to Woodside. But I get the same thing. Yeah. But I would maybe more of a tribe.
I tell people the word cult is in culture. So
yeah, exactly.
That's what I look at.
Yeah. But it's funny. It's like, you know, it's kind of this, you know, the ivory tower, gilded gates, or whatever. But it really is the people, the member base are so awesome, so nice.
Yeah.
And they use it too, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like hey, we want you to get a membership and then never show up. It's just not the case. People actually do come, which is good, you know.
So what is your role there?
I'm the training director. So I oversee personal training, Pilates, and a new project that we're doing called the Insight Studio, which some of your team came down to the grip strength.
Yeah.
So that's where we're testing body composition. We're doing markerless motion capture for our movement assessments. And then we're doing VO2 max and resting metabolic rate testing. So doing breath analysis.
Gotcha.
So really, really beautiful space. It's going to be open probably next couple of weeks. But that's what I oversee there. Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
How long have you been with the company?
I've only been with Woodside for a year and 8 months now. So yeah. So I was from New York and was working out in Manhattan in New York City for, you know, over a decade. And then my wife and I, you know, once COVID hit, she worked for the same company. We were like, we're out of here. So we ended up moving out to Colorado. I was working out there for a couple of years and got contacted by a recruiter. Never been to Kansas. When I flew in, I didn't know what state I was in. I was like, it's one of the two. And honestly, met with the team at Woodside and like toured through and went back to the hotel that night and called my wife. And I was like, oh man, I think we're moving to Kansas.
Yeah.
And she's like, all right.
Then you went through what our winters look like. You're like, this place is a disaster.
You know what? Compared to New York, I mean, nothing holds up to Colorado in the wintertime. But
Colorado, at least when it snows, it just snows. And it's like there. Here, it's like, you're leaving the house in shorts and a t-shirt and 70 degrees, and you're in a blizzard.
That is a good point.
By 3. And
That's a good point.
Mother Nature's drunk around here.
But we're used to like the humidity and stuff like that. But yeah, first winter last year was super easy.
Yeah.
And this year we're kind of like, oh, this feels a little bit like the East Coast. I don't know, man.
Yeah, a little whack out here.
Yeah.
But no, I love what you guys are doing. Love the business model.
Yeah.
I'm always someone that just like, I love white glove service. I'm a service type person.
Yeah.
And experience. And I think you guys are hitting the nail on the head on that so well.
Yeah.
That it just
appreciate it.
Brings a different level to the game.
Awesome, man.
And it was same thing when I got into this. I was like, we got to change the game of what marketing looks like. And that's the path we're trying to take. And you guys are doing it in the fitness world. So
very cool. Yeah, you guys are crushing it. The stuff is beautiful, man.
We're trying.
It's really cool. So
I got an amazing team. I'm here.
Amazing team. Very strong team.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're feeding everybody.
Yeah.
Might want to send some over to Woodside.
Free protein shakes and energy drinks all day.
Jesus, man. Oh, my God. You guys like sitting there with rice barrels all day, just like, geez. But yeah, cool.
Cool. Appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
That's it for podcast. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the M3 Podcast. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. Want to learn more? Check us out on Instagram at Moss Marketing Group, on Facebook at Moss Marketing 58, or on our website at mossmarketinggroup.com.